Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. You repeat this Shanti mantra, it is new, okay, for Veda. Vaang me manasi pratishthita.
Vaang me manasi pratishthita.
Mano me vachi pratishthhitam.
Mano me vachi pratishthhitam.
Aviravir maheti.
Aviravir maheti.
Vedasya mahani isthaha.
Vedasya mahani isthaha.
Sutam me ma prahasihi.
Sutam me prahasi.
Anenathitena.
Anenathitena.
Ahoratram sandadhami.
Ahoratram sandadhami.
Ritam vadishyami.
Ritam vadishyami.
Satyam vadishyami.
Satyam vadishyami.
Tanmamavatu.
Tanmamavatu.
Tadbhaktaramavatu.
Tadbhaktaramavatu.
Avatu mam.
Avatu mam.
Avatu bhaktaram.
Avatu bhaktaram.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So each Veda has its own Shanti mantra. That's why we actually chant by seeing the Shanti mantra chanted in the class only you can know which Veda that Upanishad belongs to. So this Kaushitaki Upanishad is actually from the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda Shanti mantra is what we chanted now. In general we chant Sahana Vavatu. That is for Krishna Yajurveda. So Sahana Vavatu normally we chant for Krishna Yajurveda Upanishads. In general from Krishna Yajurveda we have Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad. So when we have those classes we chant Sahana Vavatu. Then Samaveda it is different. Okay? And again Kena Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad is there. At least I am only listing what Adi Shankara has commented on. So Adi Shankara is supposed to have commented on 10 Upanishads. And people generally call them as 10 principal Upanishads also. There is no criteria why some Upanishad is principal or not. It is simply that because Adi Shankara has commented on it, it is called as principal. Otherwise, content-wise or anything like that, there are many Upanishads are there. Even if you take the Brahma Sutra as a text is called an analytical text, or it is called Nyaya Prasthana. So the Brahma Sutra analyzes Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, which are called Shruti Prasthana and Smriti Prasthana. Shruti is whatever is from the Veda, and Smriti is all the other things written by Vyasa and other great rishis for us. So these two are analyzed in the Brahma Sutra, and then what is the Tatparya? What these two texts are trying to really convey to us? What are they teaching really? What is the main topic, and also what are the other allied topics which help you to understand the main topic? These are all discussed in the Brahma Sutra. In the Brahma Sutra there are many Upanishads which are discussed. That means the Vakyas from different Upanishads are discussed. Not all of them are commented by Adi Shankara. Understand that? In that Kaushitaki Upanishad also is one Upanishad where it is actually discussed in the Brahma Sutra itself, the Vakyas from this, and Bhashyakara also quotes from this Upanishad in different places, but there is no commentary by Shankaracharya. Later on, another Acharya called Shankarananda has written what is known as a Deepika. It is also a commentary, brief commentary on this Upanishad. So there are other Upanishads also, like Kaivalya Upanishad is very popular. We also study it and we even conduct classes. Even for that there is no particular commentary by Shankaracharya. There is a Shvetashvatara Upanishad is there. So So like this, there are some Upanishads which are very well known, which are also in some cases analyzed by the Brahma Sutra itself, for which Shankaracharya has not written commentary. That doesn't mean it is not an important Upanishad like that. So this Kaushitaki Upanishad belonging to Rig Veda, and like I said, each Veda has its own Shanti mantra, and we always start with the Shanti mantra. Anything we start, it's a prayer, correct? And Shanti means, why do we even need Shanti? So, and we also say Shanti, 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 like that 3 times we say at the end. So what Shanti means, you can say in English, a word which is better, normally they say peace. And some people even say Om, peace, 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 like that. Even when they chant, this is like a little weird to me. But I think better word is resolution rather than peace. Of course, peace is arrived at after a certain resolution, correct? Even in conflict areas, there has to be a resolution, then only peace results, I would say. So here, what do we want to resolve then? Why are we doing this Shanti in the beginning of a class particularly? Means traditionally we say there is tapatrayam. Means 3 types of afflictions, you can say. Tapa means, tap literally means something which is hot or which is basically making you feel uncomfortable, correct? It's not like a warmth, it is more than that. Warmth is something we prefer, but tapa means it is more than warmth, it is really something which is making you uncomfortable, or it is affliction, we can say. So 3 types of afflictions are always there for everybody. And particularly in a class also, those afflictions, if they are there, then your study will not be fruitful, correct? Your study will not be conducive, or whatever. The study has to result in something, correct? You should gain something from the class, from hearing the Shastra. So for that we want to resolve those 3 afflictions. That is the prayer in general. So in that, what are those 3 afflictions? Means we say it is classified as 3 from the sources from which it can come. So there are 3 sources from where one can be afflicted. And what is the first one? You start with your own body, mind, sense complex, correct? That is called Adhyatmika Tapa. An affliction which is arising from your own, with reference to your own body, it is correct. These afflictions are coming, that means what? You are not able to sit, you are not able to hear. Shravana means first you have to be able to hear properly, and you have to be able to focus on what somebody is telling you. If you are even not able to do that, then the Shravanam will not be very fruitful for you. So all this, at least I should be able to sit for the duration of the class peacefully. So that is one Shanti, correct? One resolution is all the bodily afflictions, let that not disturb me, let it all be resolved. That is one prayer. So Adhyatmika. Then Adi Bhautika we say. Bhautika means from Bhuta, Bhautika we say. Again, Bhuta means here it is not ghost or something. Generally people think Bhuta means, here it is element, we can say. Mahabhutani we say. Mahabhutani means we have a 5 elemental model of creation. And those 5 elements we say Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi, like that. So it is, starts with space, and then we say wind or air, and then fire, water or liquids, and solid and earth. Like this, we have these 5 elements, and everything else is a Bhautika, means elemental. Everything else is made up of these 5 elements. Your body also is made up of these 5 elements, we say. So like this, these 5 elemental model we have. That means here the whole world is made up of these 5 elements. So if we take this 5 elemental model and we say Adi Bhautika, whatever is coming from your surroundings, correct? Afflictions can come from your own body, it can come from your surroundings. But surroundings also have to be conducive. In fact, that's why we have come to a Gurukulam here, ashram, peaceful location. We don't want any disturbance. But even here you may have a mosquito, all these things you cannot escape very easily, correct? So surroundings also may not be always conducive, but we are praying for that. That's why we have to pray for that. Even one mosquito is good enough to spoil your whole peace, correct? You don't require too many mosquitoes actually. So that is also a problem. So we don't want any problem from our surroundings. Then there can also be other, or the Daivika we say, with reference to the Devas. Means the Devatas are the ones who are operating everything which is happening in this creation. That is our understanding. We say that any phenomenon is Ishvara, manifest as a particular Devata. Because we have Devatas. That is one confusion, correct? When we talk about our tradition. So we say that there are 33 crore Devatas. The same 33 crore Devatas can be looked upon as 3,300, like that keeps on going down. If there is one portion in Vedanta Upanishad where this is discussed actually. And finally it comes to one. Like that keeps on, it looks at it in different way. So how many Devatas we have? How do we translate this word Devata? No? Devata is God with G, small case, they say. Not G, capital case. So I don't know what difference that is going to make. So there is a confusion because from some other tradition somebody comes, they don't understand what is this Devata these people are talking about. Now, what we say is, everything which is happening in this world, in many places, correct? For example, sight, seeing, you are able to see. Now if I ask you, how do you see? If you ask somebody, you go to a doctor, means doctor will say light is coming, it is going through your lens in the eye and it falls on the retina and then something fires there, it goes through the optic nerve to your brain and all that. But even all that cannot explain sight as an experience, correct? That is only explaining the mechanism of what is happening. You can never explain sight as a phenomenon or experience completely because we are the ones who are experiencing sight. I am seeing. It's an experience for me, correct? And that nobody can really even talk about it or explain it or describe it. But it is there. We all understand sight. Now the seeing or sight is not there only in my eye, correct? It is there in all human eyes to start with. But it is not only there in all human eyes. It is there in insect eyes. In fact, the insect eyes are seeing differently. We see that some insects have so many eyes and one eye can be seeing backside, another this side and all that. They have different kinds of vision which we cannot even imagine. Even you imagine yourself, if one of your eyes is there behind like this. So out of the two eyes, why should they be like this? One is there here, another is there here means. I don't know how you will see. Maybe you will see in a different manner and maybe you will have 360-degree vision or whatever. But right now, it's not like that. So our appreciation of sight is only whatever we are able to see here. But sight as a phenomenon may be even greater than whatever we are appreciating it or experiencing it. And it is there in so many places. Right? Wherever sight is, it is a phenomenon. That's what we call as a phenomenon. Phenomenon means something which is happening commonly it is happening in many places. It is countless in fact. You cannot count in how many places seeing as a phenomenon is happening right now means we cannot even count it. It is countless. And therefore what do we say? This sight is happening because of the Devata, Aditya Devata. That's what the Shastra is saying. No, there is nothing scientific or anything about this. Understand this. Don't bring any science or anything into this. That is what the Shastra is revealing to us. Science can neither prove it nor disprove this. That much now you understand. This phenomenon we say is happening because Aditya Devata is manifest in all these countless places. Unless Aditya Devata is manifest and it is blessing, no sight can take place. Is that clear? And that Devata itself is a manifestation of Ishvara. Devata is not separate from Ishvara. It is only our understanding through the phenomenon of sight, you understand Ishvara, that is Aditya. Like that, each and every organ in our body also, their functioning, we say, is only due to the blessing of that particular Devata. That is our understanding. And not only this, even other things which are happening outside also is all only blessings of Devata, right? If there is thunder and whatever rain is there, means we say Indra is there. Like that, we have Devatas for even phenomenon which is happening in the world outside. We have Devatas for whatever is happening within our body also. Whatever is functioning here, understand one thing, nothing is functioning through your will or anything, correct? If your will is very important, means you should be able to see. Up to 45 years I was also happily there without any glass, correct? Then slowly I have to keep everything, and after a time my arm's length was not good enough, correct? I am not able to see. Even if I keep here, means then I start glass. You have to have glass. So it's not in your will or anything. The Devata only has to bless. Even whatever we eat every day, it's not in your control to even digest it, correct? That's why Bhagavan says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha. So I am the one who is sitting in your stomach and I am blessing you as Vaishvanara Agni. That is why even you are able to digest the food. Otherwise we can't even digest that. Nothing is happening. You don't think that you are doing something. Even simple things in your body are happening only because the Devatas are blessing you. In fact, in the Vedanta Upanishad, it comes. That Upanishad describes the process of dying also. It says that slowly each and every Devata, they withdraw from wherever they are operating. They all come to one central place, assemble, and then along with the Atma, they all then leave the physical body and go. Again, the new body, the Devatas are welcoming. Okay, they are ready already. And then they again go and entrench themselves in different places wherever they are supposed to work. They have to go to the correct place, correct? Otherwise also there is a problem. I think some people have that problem. They see, the color is normally we see, correct? There are some people with synesthesia and all that. They have different, their organs are all wired differently, I think. Their experience is different. They can hear sounds from color or something like that. You can go and research it. So in fact, even when you sleep and get up, the Upanishad says the Devatas have to go back to the same place. They all actually, they resolve from their functionality and they all withdraw, and then only you are able to go into another body in the dream. Or nothing is happening, they are totally resolved, you go into sleep. But once you come back to waking also, they all have to come back through the same path in which they resolved or withdrew. They have to come back and again start functioning. Then only you are able to function. You get up and then you are able to see, means then you have to be grateful, I think. Okay, the Aditya Devata has come back to position. Otherwise, it may not happen also. So you can't take anything for granted. That's what you have to be grateful that your body is functioning on a day-to-day basis itself is a blessing only for us. That is our view. That is the Vedika view of life itself. That one has to be grateful for all these things. Really speaking, we don't even appreciate that it's miraculous, correct? Even that the very functioning of our body is a miracle, really. We have to appreciate that. So these Devatas are very important for us, and their functioning also can bring affliction. Understand that? It's too much rain. That is all associated with the Devatas only for us. That's why we even pray. In fact, Sri Vidya did a prayer for rains to stop, I think. I think in 2015 or something, there was so much rain in Chennai that for 4 or 5 days people were not even able to get out of their houses. And even those who were very rich and all, they were fighting on their rooftops. They were dropping some bread and things like that from helicopter and all that because they didn't have any food, nothing. Even very rich people were stranded. They couldn't go anywhere. So things like this can happen. We have to. And then I think next time she did even more prayer. It was about to rain a lot, but she controlled it, I hope, with her prayer. And so like that, the Devatas also can, in fact, when we came here also, now also they are saying it is going to rain here and all that. But hopefully that rain also should not, or there should not be any tsunami or rain or earthquake and things like that. Also we associate with Devatas, all these things. So none of these things should happen and my study should be completed successfully. That is why we say 3 Shantis always, okay? Any type of affliction, whether it is from my body, from the surroundings, or due to the Devatas, I don't want any of those right now, so that my study, whatever I have started, let me complete it. Okay, so that is why we chant the Shanti mantra. Now this particular Shanti mantra is very, very interesting, particularly for the student. In fact, most of the Shanti mantras are about the student and the teacher only. Even Sahana Bhavatu is like that. And this also, this Rigveda Shanti mantra is very beautiful. So it says, Vaang me manasi pratishthita, mano me vachi pratishtitam. So may my mind be established in my speech. Let us say pratishthita means you can say in English, let it be based on or let it be established on my speech. Means when you are speaking, you don't speak mechanically. See, many people, they'll just say something without even thinking, without giving any thought about it, or then later on they will say, no, I did not really mean it. You should not be saying all the time, I did not really mean it. That is a problem, particularly with politicians and all the media focus and all that nowadays, or even in social media. You go and post something, and then later on you say, no, you delete the tweet, you delete your FB post, whatever, and say I did not mean it and all that. So the idea is whatever you mean, you should be saying, correct? Means there is a harmony between your mind and your speech first. Because speech and mind are the most important things for study. Why? Because you are learning through speech. I am talking, Guru is talking, so speech is the important thing. Then mind, through mind only you are receiving. Speech is the medium and mind is the receiver, and that through receiving, and while receiving also your mind should be established on the words. Correct? You should be able to focus on whatever is being said and assimilate it correctly, or in the same way the teacher is telling you, you have to assimilate it in the same manner. Then only knowledge takes place. For the transmission to happen successfully, it is important that your mind is backing up your ears, particularly when you are hearing, and everything you are taking it into your mind and processing it correctly. So, this Vaang me manasi pratishtita, mano me vachi pratishtitam, both. So, whatever you think only you say, and whatever you say, you again stand by it always, because it has come through after it is a well thought out speech, correct? And also we say further, whatever you act also have to be in harmony with whatever you are thinking and whatever you are speaking. That's what we call Arsha. So there is a value, amanitvam adamvitvam, ahimsa kshantir arjavam, acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyam atmavinigraha, like that in the Gita 13th chapter. So we have all this. These are all called jnanam, in fact. Etat jnanam iti proktam, ajnanam yadatom yatha, like that Bhagavan says. Jnanam means jnayate anena iti jnanam. So these are all the values which help you to know. To have Atma Jnanam, all these values are important. In fact, for other Jnanam, normally in the university and all that, they are not asking you. Although nowadays they say emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. There is a EQ and all they talk about, emotional quotient and all that. Without that, you are not able to work very well in a team or in a particular organization and all that. It's not always about intelligence. But generally, if you go and enroll in a university, they are only looking at your degree certificate or whatever is the prerequisite certificate and how many marks you have got. They are only looking at it. But Vedanta, what sadhana chatushtayam means in that what? Shamadama, Uparama, Titiksha. Titiksha is the most difficult. Okay? Why? Because what? Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara purvakam. Acharya says, you have to bear all dukkha. Any kind of affliction, you have to bear it. But how do you bear? Some people means they are like that they are biting their teeth and all that, and somehow they are, no, it's not like that. It is apratikara purvakam. Purvakam means what? Without really opposing it, correct? Without really, even we are just able to manage casually. You are cool under all. At least you have to project your cool to start with, correct? So that is the idea. And the world will be like this only, Bhagavan says. So these are all some of the mental disposition. A certain mental disposition is important for this knowledge. Unless you have emotional maturity, you have mastery of your mind, you cannot learn this, because there is a reason for that. Because your fundamental problem itself is due to a certain way of thinking, right? So that's why you have to prepare your mind first. Preparing the mind is the biggest sadhana. That is why we have the 6 Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, we say. All of them are related to mind and senses and all that. So your own mastery over all these things are very important. And even this prayer also is for that only, really speaking. Because when you say this Arjavam, means my thought, my speech and my action, they all have to be in harmony, in one line, correct? Riju Bhavam. Arjavam means Riju Bhavam. In Tamil you can say Nermai. Correct? Nermai, there is a word in Tamil. Same meaning. Nermai means not that your body has to stand straight. Then it's not about body or anything, correct? Nermai means the one whose thought, word and deed are, they are all in one straight line, you can say, correct? They are not twisted. They are in harmony, and that is very important for a Vedantin also, because otherwise you are even dealing with the world will become a problem for you, correct? You have to then without having this arjavam, this amanitwadi also cannot be there. Understand that? All the qualities which Bhagavan is talking about there, the values. In fact, the values are all more like a train, bogies. It's not that any one you take, and if you try to follow that, all others also have to come along with. Understand that? It's not that they are all like unconnected or anything. Although we list 20 of them, if you think about it seriously, even if you take Arjavam, if you have Arjavam, then you cannot be a Mani or a Dampi and things like that will fall into place, actually speaking. So, this is very important. This value, that is why the Rig Veda is talking about this, that your mind and your speech are all in harmony. And then, what does it say? And for what purpose? Aviravir-ma-ethi. Avihi. Avi in Tamil means again ghost. That is coming from Sanskrit only. Avihi, avis here is really means bright, light and all that. That is the meaning. It is there in Mundaka Upanishad also, it is there. Actually one Vakya there. There also, the Brahman itself is called Avihi here. That which is of the nature of consciousness, that which is prakashatmaka, correct? Bright, shining. That which is shining means we are not talking about physical light or shine or anything. That to which everything becomes evident, correct? That consciousness, that is called Avihi. Ethi means what? May it become evident to me. May I get it in the sense that eti means, may I get it in the sense of knowledge again. May I know this Brahman. Okay, that is the meaning of this avedma eti. Okay, you have to know this. Then how will you know this? This Brahman, how can we know? This is where again the Shastra. That's why we are studying Upanishad, correct? We have to know this Brahman only from Upanishad. That's why it is called Upanishadam Brahma. In fact, in another Shanti mantra, it says Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Like that. So Sarvam Brahma, Brahma Upanishadam Brahma it is. It is there in the Vedantika also. It is said Upanishadam Brahma. Means from the Upanishad alone you can know about this Brahman. There is no other way you can know it. That is why we look upon the Shastra as a means of knowledge. Swamiji was saying also in the morning that we talk about a lot about this means of knowledge. So why do we talk about it? Because there is a very important thing you have to understand. If you don't understand that, then the study of Vedanta can become complicated, I would say. Okay, it may not give you the result which it is supposed to give. Because the general understanding is that Vedanta study of text is like this Google map. Okay? Just so they will say, some people will say, by looking at the Google map, can you go to that place? You cannot go. It is only a map. You have to study. Then you have to go there. Means you have to. That is a theory and practice they talk about. You have to study. Or some people will say, why are you even studying Vedanta? You want to know yourself. Atma is inside. Okay, it is Pratyagatma. It is inner Atma. Right? Inner self, we say. Because to differentiate it from the body, mind, sense complex, we use a word called Pratyagatma in the Shastra. Means inner self, you can say, because we are slowly taking the grossest manifestation of I, or the wherever I place my identity, the grossest thing is the body, correct? And we start from there. Because all your confusion is starting from the skin onwards, correct? Up till then there is no confusion. Nobody says this cloth is I or this phone is I. Nobody says that. There is no confusion with reference to phone or this mic or even these glasses. Although the glasses are helping you to see, you don't say I. With reference to glass, there is no identity like I. But as soon as it starts here, we say I. The body is I. So the I is placed on the body. Then what is the result of that? All the bodily problems are my problem, correct? Because it is I. Body is I means all bodily problems are my problem. So all bodily limitations are my limitations. And I am not able to accept it. I am not able to accept that I am a limited being. I am all the time struggling, in fact, to get rid of some limitation or the other. That is the samsara. That is what we call samsara. That is the life of becoming, where I am not able to accept myself as I am. So I have to become something. Whether that becoming is with reference to the body, that becoming may be with reference to your sense organs. Correct? Today I am not able to see properly without glasses. Of course, you can wear the glass and see properly. Means that is also a becoming. Or with reference to mind also. Today I am ignorant. I want to become knowledgeable. So everything is becoming. Becoming. Whole life is only becoming. You never stop. When the life is over, again you start another life, we say. If you accept whatever our Shastras say, then we have to say, you take one more life, same thing goes on. It never comes to an end because it is an unending cycle, it's a vicious cycle. So, this whole cycle is there only because of the identity you have with the body, mind, sense complex. That's what we say. So, the Vedanta itself is very simple. Only one thing you have to understand in Vedanta. What is that? Whatever I see is not I. It starts with that. The entire Vedantic vichara or analysis is a very simple thing. Whatever I see, whatever I know as an object of my knowledge cannot be I. Because it is something known to me. Correct? Whatever I know is not I. Now if you apply this rule, like I said already, this phone is not I because I know this phone as an object of my knowledge. It is becoming evident to me. Okay. This cloth also is same. But what about the body? This also is known to me. But then I take it as I. Whatever I know, how can it be I? It is only I am the knower of my body. If you look at it like that, body cannot be I. Body is not I. This is what is called Atma, Anatma, Viveka. You are discriminating between what is self and what is not self. Why this Viveka is required? Because there is a confusion. And when did this confusion start? Means it is never started. That is why Bhashyakara said it is Naisargikoyam Loka Vyavahara. Like that he says in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya introduction. When did this start? Means this it never started. It is there like that only. That's how it is naturally. People are taking like that, and that's how this whole worldly transactions are going on, worldly affairs are going on. And you cannot say when it started. It's anadi. But it can come to an end. When you do the discrimination, when you do the viveka analysis, because this whole avichara siddha we say, that is what the entire samsara is avichara siddha, means what? You have never analyzed yourself properly. You have taken yourself for granted. You were born and an identity was foisted on you, right? Everybody says you are so and so, correct? With reference to your body, you are a male or you are female. You are born to such and such parents, so you belong to this kula, this whatever gotra, etc., this jati, the varnashrama, everything is foisted on you. And you swallow it, correct? You have swallowed it and never questioned it. So you have taken yourself for granted. And all knowledge is what? All worldly knowledge is only objective knowledge, correct? Even science is useless. Because by definition, science says it is objective. You understand now why science is useless here? Because science by definition is objective. That means you cannot study the subject. In fact, scientists are clueless. Most of them are not even able to accept that there is something called a mind. There is, in the scientific world, there is no consensus even today whether there is a mind other than matter or not. But Vedanta has gone even further. We say mind also is not really something conscious. Consciousness is even different from mind, we say. Mind also is jada, because in our creation model, scientific creation model is purely physical, correct? It is matter oriented. But our five elemental model does not stop with physical creation. Understand? We talk about a sthula sharira and a sthula jagat. That's why we say the virat. And then there is a, individually also we say, we have Vishwa and Virat, we say. The waking world. That waking world is Virat, we say. Waking world is a manifestation of Virat. And then we say there is a Sukshma Sharira. For us, Sukshma Sharira is important. That Sukshma Sharira also has come from the Sattva Amsha of the Pancha Mahabhutani, we say. So we also have this three gunas model, where the Tamo guna has become the physical gross universe, the Sattva guna has become mind and sense organs, and Rajo guna has become all the organs of action and prana, we say. Like this, our creation model accounts for, even though it is only five elemental, with the three gunas, it accounts for all our entire gamut of experience is accounted for in our creation model. Understand this? That is the beauty. But even according to this model, what? We say all these things are only bhautika. Understand that your mind also is bhautika. It is coming from the Pancha Mahabhutas. Your prana also is bhautika. Correct? They are all from the Rajo Amsha. Like this, there is a Sthula Sharira, and the Sukshma Sharira includes both mind and prana and sense organs and organs of action, all those things. That's why we say the Sukshma Sharira has 17 or 19 constituents and all that, depending on how you count. Okay? And that Sukshma Sharira only goes out during the death and takes up another Sthula Sharira. That is, the taking up the Sthula Sharira is called birth, Leaving the existing physical body is called death. And so death is not a final solution or anything. Understand that? The Sukshma Sharira then continues in another body, and you have to again you start. The samsara never comes to an end. That's what I told you. It keeps on. And again we don't even know whether you will take another human body. That's why Bhashyakara says, why is, in the Upanishad commentary asks, why is the Upanishad talking about all this death, rebirth and all that? Why should it even talk about this? Then he says, because it talks about the process of dying very detailed. It says that your breath, you will have difficulty even breathing. First your eyes will shut down, you will not be able to see anything. Like this, the Upanishad is describing the process of death itself. So he is saying why at that time you will have no control and all that it says. So he says why should we even talk about all these things? Because you have to get vairagya. Why? Because when your senses are working fine, when your body is working fine, only you should gain this knowledge. Because afterwards, what? As you are aging, it's all only a decline, right? It's not, nothing is going to become better. It's only decline. Body is going to decline. You cannot reverse. Of course, some people are trying to reverse aging and all that, something they are doing. But again, how much they will succeed or by what side effect we will have in all these treatments and all that, we don't. Of course, by having a certain healthy lifestyle and all that, you can prolong your whatever, your bodily functions, etc. properly. I am not saying that you should not do it or anything, but what I am saying is eventually anyway, it is going to decline. So before that decline comes, you have to study Vedanta. That's why in fact many people say, I will retire and study Vedanta, or I am doing something, I will finish this and start my Vedanta study and all that. That means only next Janma, most probably, we have to say. Because it's not going to happen like that. In fact, ideally you have to come to this young, I think. Okay? We were fortunate that I came when I was only 23 years old or something. I saw Swamiji and I somehow came. Like this, many of us we were young. In our 3-year course, we came here young and we studied everything whenever. Right now, even if whatever I memorized then, at least I remember now. If you ask me to memorize something newly now, I will not be able to remember, but whatever needs to be known, I have known at least to an extent where I am clear about this knowledge and all that. So that is a blessing, right? We came at the right age and we were able to do all these things. So you have to start it whenever you are young. That is another important thing. And all these things is only a Ishvara Anugraham only we have to say. That's why we start this with prayer. Okay? So anyway, where I started with Brahma, Upanishadam Brahma, but we went into somewhere. But the idea here, what I am saying is, the Shastra is an independent means of knowledge for us. And this independent means of knowledge means what? It's a very important thing. We have to understand that. Like, whatever status you are giving to your eyes, your sense organs, correct? Your ears. The 5 sense organs, we have given them a certain status. Whatever it is revealing, we are taking it as valid knowledge. That is the status we have given to our sense organs. Why I am saying that is, so suppose I say, this is red. Okay? Now I ask you, how did you know this is red? You say, I see, right? My eyes are revealing that this is red. Now similarly I say, Veda is telling you are Brahman. Or Veda is saying there is Aditya Devata who is blessing your Indriyas, that's why it is functioning. Now you are a scientific person, correct? What will you ask? Immediately you will ask, what is the proof that Aditya Devata is blessing? That's why I am seeing. Now I ask you, what is the proof that this is red? You know, tell me, you give me proof that this is red. Can you prove? You cannot prove. There is no proof. All you can say is, my eyes are revealing this as red, therefore I say it is red. Can the ears prove that it is red? Ears have no access to color. Or whatever you are hearing through your ears, eyes cannot prove that. Eyes have no access to sound. You cannot prove it is red by touching. Touch has no access to color again. Whatever you feel through touch alone, touch can reveal you certain tactile sensations and all that, that is fine, but it cannot prove anything. So the idea is what? You have given a status to the eyes, the ears, your nose, your tongue, your sense of touch, that whatever is revealed through them, I take it as valid knowledge. In spite of whatever they are revealing can never be proved by anything, correct? Each of them are revealing to me a unique field of knowledge, or it's a unique field of revelation, right? Each sense organ is having a unique field of revelation that can neither be proved nor be disproved by any other means of knowledge. In fact, that is what is the characteristic of a means of knowledge, we say. What is the lakshana? I am just giving you the gist. There are books written, there are hundreds of pages written on this topic, okay? But you don't have to go through all those complications. Simply you understand this much. The characteristic of knowledge is that we give two characteristics. We say abaditam. Abaditam, anadigatam. Those are the two words we use. Anadigatam means what? It should not be knowable or known already. So whatever is revealed to you should be always unique. Then only it is knowledge, we say. Otherwise, it is memory. Memory means you are just remembering something, correct? It's not unique. Already whatever you have known, you can remember. That is different. And also the knowledge should not be negated. It should be abadita. So I see snake. So initially I take it as valid. Or I see silver. Now I go to pick it up. Once I pick up, I see it is shell. Now one cognition can be more powerful than another cognition. So one cognition can negate another cognition. So for erroneous cognition, to know that it is an error, you need a more powerful cognition. You understand? But for a valid cognition, there is only cognition. You don't need anything else. Because every cognition for us is valid. That is what is called Swatah Pramanyam. It is a very big topic in the Shastra again. But this much you understand. Each and every cognition is self-valid for us. This is the cornerstone of the entire study of the Shastra, is dependent on you understanding this Swatah Pramanyam. If you don't understand the self-validity of knowledge, your studies will be only like you are studying some book. You are gaining some information. We are not here to gain some information. We are here to change our self-identity itself based on the vision of the Veda. Veda is the means of knowledge which is directly revealing to you who you are, as you are. There is nothing to become or anything. Understand that? Right now, Veda is revealing to you that you are already Brahman. Means you should be able to appreciate it. And it is giving you all the supporting logic also for that. It is having a certain methodology to teach you that, so that it is spoon feeding you literally so that you understand it. But that understanding depends on giving the Veda the status of the means of knowledge. If you don't give the same status as you are giving it to your sense organs, then you do not have Shraddha. Shraddha is an important thing in the Samadhi Shatta Sampatti. Understand? Without Shraddha, you cannot study any Shastra. Why? Because it won't work. You won't give the status. If you don't give the status of means of knowledge to Veda, you are saying, no, you prove me how whatever Veda says, you cannot prove it. That is why Veda is a means of knowledge, in fact. Veda is a means of knowledge. Why? Because it is revealing to me something unique which can never be negated by anything else. Okay? If it is negated by something, then that is fine. Then you have to interpret the Veda properly. Even Bhashikara says, even 100 Shrutis cannot come and say water is hard, water is hard, or Agni is cool, or something like that. Those things go, whatever is revealed already and whatever is valid knowledge, Veda can never negate that or anything. So this Vedic vision you can appreciate and assimilate only if you accept the Veda as a valid means of knowledge. Every cognition is self-valid. Otherwise, in fact, you cannot even have any knowledge. Understand that? Because if you say one cognition has to be validated by another cognition, then it will become infinite rigorous, correct? Because the other cognition, how will you validate it? That means there won't be any knowledge will never be clinched. You cannot clinch any cognition or knowledge, and no vyavahara can take place. Vyavahara will never take place. Vyavahara is taking place only because each and every cognition is taken as valid knowledge. Of course, some of them may be proved to be wrong as erroneous cognition later. For erroneous cognition, you require one more powerful cognition which will correct the error. But that powerful cognition again is self-valid, so you don't have infinite regress. You understand? Because the correcting cognition has to be self-valid by itself. It has to be clinched there itself. So this is a very important thing, and unless you appreciate this and give that status to the Veda and the Vakya of the Guru, then this knowledge will not be fruitful. That's why we say the Veda is bringing, or the Vedas are being brought by my mind, and Vedasya ma anisthaha. Anisthaha, ni means naya, and all we say, right? Naya, lead, or is bringing. Anaya means you bring. Same dhatu, but it is dual case. Anisthaha means in Sanskritam there is singular, dual and plural. All other languages have only singular and plural, but Sanskrita also has a dual case. It's very interesting. Some stotras are entirely written in dual. Okay. In fact, when Parvati and Parameshwara, they are inseparable, correct? They are dual always. So some stotras are written, when Abhay Dikshita and all has written, if you want to know dual case properly, you read some of these stotras and you will understand. Anyway, so here the mind and the Vaang only are mentioned, saying that you both bring me the Veda to me. Veda is the means of knowledge to knowing this Brahman, and you are the ones who are bringing me, because this is a oral tradition, correct? Vedas were never written up till some time back. Nobody wrote down the Vedas, so it was brought to us in an oral tradition, and that means this mind and Vaang are the important thing, correct? Whatever is said has to be received by your mind. That's how knowledge itself was preserved. That's how we even have it today. Because there was no other way, correct? They could burn all the libraries, but then people ran away, and again they started teaching somebody else, and then again this knowledge is now available to us. Otherwise, with all this invasion and all, we would have lost. In fact, already we have lost so many things. But even whatever is preserved also, you cannot read it even in one lifetime. There is so much which is still available. And this preservation is possible only because we are an oral tradition. And so the Vedas are brought to us through these two organs only. They are playing the main role. They have to bring the Veda, and through that only I can know this Brahman Aviredhi. And then what? Shrutam Nema Prahasi. The other thing is what you have learned, but then you should not forget it, correct? So whatever I have heard, Shrutam, may not forget it, may it not leave me. It should be. I have to retain. Retention also is very important. I have to retain and I have to assimilate. So that is also part of the prayer. So it is a beautiful prayer. And then what? We say, Anena Adhitena, then Ahoratran Sandadhami. Means whatever I have learned, then I actually have to, day and night, in fact, I have to dwell on that. Otherwise you cannot retain. In fact, for the retaining also, how do you retain means, whatever you have learned, you are reflecting on that. Revision and all we say, right? When we used to study, all the other ways will come. Did you revise this topic, that topic for exam? Revision was the big thing. Before the final exam and all that, you are revising so many topics and all that. Like that, this is what Ahoratran Sandadhami means what? You are revising day and night, you are dwelling on that, you are reflecting on that. That's why we have Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasanam also we say, correct? So that is very important. That's how you can assimilate this. Then what? Ritam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami. Again, this word ritam and satyam can also be synonymously used. But when it is used like this, specifically, then we have to give a different meaning, correct? Otherwise it is, why do you have to say 2 times ritam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami? Again, this satyam ritam is there. Ritam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha, satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Like that is there in Taittiriya also it is coming, ritam and satyam. In fact, I think there Bhashyakara gives one meaning. Here again we can take similar meaning. One is what? Ritam means whatever is said in the Shastra, you know. Shastroktam jnanam is ritam means. Satyam means that has to now also reflect in you, correct? Nirka adarku taga. Like Tirukural also, karka, kasadara, karpavai. Then you have to say nirka adarku taga is there, correct? That is also like Shravana Mandala Nidhyasana. There is no difference. So you have to learn, and whatever you learn, you have to be clear about that, and then you have to assimilate, and it has to reflect in your life also. Like that, Satyam means the Shastrokta Jnanam is there in your Achara also. That is one way of looking at it. Or Ritam means we say it is Vyavaharika Satyam. See, like you are a Vedantic, you go to some job interview, you ask, who are you? You cannot say, Aham Brahmasmi. In the job interview, you say, no, Aham Brahmasmi. then you won't get the job, correct? So you don't have to do that. You can be a Vedanta student. If you go to an interview and somebody asks you, who are you? You can say, I am so and so, I am an engineer, I am this, I am a teacher, whatever it is. That is fine. That is Ritam. But in the Vedanta class, if I say, who are you? You have to say, Aham Brahmasmi. That is Satyam. That is the actual Paramarthika Satyam is Satyam. Or Ritam is Vyavaharika Satyam, we can say. So both, let me only do, but I should not say anything which is not Satyam. Correct? Anritam or Asatyam should not be there. That goes again to Vaang me manasi pratishthita, mano me vachi pratishtitam. That's why this Ritam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami means that itself is a Vaak tapas. It's a very important thing. May I always say, either Vyavaharika, even in the Vyavahara, let me say only whatever is Vyavaharika Satyam. Otherwise, I only talk about Paramarthika Satyam, which is important as a Vedanta thing for us. Either I listen to the Paramarthika Satyam or I am also teaching as a teacher. And therefore, then what? Ritam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami, tanmam avatu, tad bhaktaram avatu. Means tat here is tad brahma. That avihi, tad brahma, avatu. Avatu means protect. Let that Brahman, Ishvara, Jagatkaranam Brahma protect me. And avatu bhaktaram, also let it protect my teacher. The one who is teaching, one who is saying, it has to protect. Otherwise, I will not be able to listen, correct? So, not only me, avatu bhaktaram. And because this is so important, it is repeated also. Avatu mam, avatu bhaktaram. In another reading, it is also avatu bhaktaram, avatu bhaktaram. The avatu bhaktaram is said 2 times also in some readings. So, then the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, then Shanti, where Tapatraya, also let them all resolve so that I don't have any affliction. And so I think this Shanti mantra has worked because all of you have successfully listened and completed this class. Means this prayer, let it work also in all other classes. So we will continue. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.